Hello, I'm Cadet Second Lieutenant John Hay.
And I'm Cadet Lance Corporal Hodge.
And today we're going to show you a little behind the scenes of what goes on a day-to-day basis here at the Marine Military Academy.
So let's get started.
Hello, I'm Cadet Second Lieutenant John Hay here with Sergeant Major Poe. Sir, could you tell us a little about yourself and what you do at the Academy?
I'm Sergeant Major Jim Poe. I work here in the Academy Admissions Department. I'm also the Scoutmaster for the MMA Boy Scout Troop 22. My primary job here is to act as one of the Academy recruiters. I talk to people about our Academy. We discuss touring. I conduct tours with people. I face off with a young man occasionally, and when they come down for touring, and we discuss the benefits of joining the Marine Military Academy, either for summer camp or the academic school year, or both.
Yes, sir. And what would you say the cadets, or not cadets, I'm sorry, the parents, when they bring their sons here, what do you think? What do you say they're most interested in?
Well, the parents are interested in the young man finding personal success here. They want to see him either meet or exceed what he thought was his potential academically, and with skills, traits, and habits, people skills. They want the boys to develop strong self-discipline, become impressive young gentlemen who are on track for personal success and well on their way to the college campus.
Yes, sir. And what would you say one of the most frequently asked questions would be from either kid or parent?
Well, do you have break periods here during the school year? No, in honesty, they're curious about how we do things. What are we doing here that it's not happening in my son's present school, either public school or private school? How are you guys set up to help my young man? What do you do here what are the procedures that you have in place that will enable him to become a successful young guy that we think he could be? So a lot of the questions revolve around that. How hard is it? Is it like Marine Corps boot camp? And of course it isn't. Those type of things. How can my young man come in? Will he be successful here? And what do you have in place that will make that work for him?
Hello, I'm Cadet Lance Corporal Hodge.
I'm Master Sergeant Krause, the Operations Chief.
And we're here to ask about what the Operations Chief does on a daily basis. What does a usual day consist for you?
0500 in the morning, I'm in work, organizing everything for the day's activity, making sure that everything runs smoothly, from the mess hall to training for the cadets. And then in the morning we do morning colors, I supervise that, and then I just make sure that during the day all cadets are in the proper place they are. And the afternoon I'm part of the cycling club, and then finish off the day.
What do you typically expect before starting the scheduling for each event?
What the needs are of the JROTC program, then the needs of the cadets, and what elements we have and weather we're going to have for that time period.
What do you enjoy most about being the Operations Chief?
Being able to work with all the fine cadets at MMA.
Do you believe that you are heavily involved in the cadets' lives at the Academy?
I coordinate every bit of operations that take place on the Academy. Every day I'm involved in the cadet's life, from giving him his cadet folio to just making sure he's out where he needs to be and everybody else is there waiting on him.
Would you say it's a challenge planning and maintaining everything that goes on?
No, not with all the support you get from all the different departments at MMA, from maintenance, the mess hall, medical, and the drill instructors.
Over the time that you've been here, what kind of problems or dilemmas have you faced?
Adjusting from being a drill instructor to being the operations chief.
Do you find your job rewarding?
Very much so. I get the opportunity to meet some fine cadets that grow into great individuals. In my 19 years of being at the Marine Military Academy, I have seen a lot of young men go from being an 8th grader to graduating from West Point to becoming Marine Corps officers and very successful in business.
All right, well, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Cadet Second Lieutenant John Hay here with Gunnery Sergeant Garcia, who works at the Quartermaster. Sir, can you tell us a little about yourself and what you do?
I'm Gunner String Garcia, retired from the United States Marine Corps Reserve, and I'm the Academy's Quartermaster.
Yes, sir. And on a day-to-day basis, what would you say your normal routine might be?
A normal routine would involve, first off, getting the program ready on the computer to start running sales and issues. At that point, the cadets arrive and they show up for purchases. That happens in the morning, right after lunch, and after school. In between those times, well, it's my administrative times where I take care of paperwork, receive orders, prepare orders, inventories, and maintain the quartermaster.
Yes, sir. And what would you say, what would you say one of the most needed items a cadet might kind of ask for?
Cadets love to buy PT gear.
Oh, yes, sir.
A lot of yellow T-shirts.
Yes, sir.
That's the biggest seller.
Yes, sir. And what would you say would be the most challenging part of working in the quartermaster?
The most challenging part would have to be maintaining a balance between sales, inventories, dealing with vendors, dealing with staff, and trying to make all that work together and smoothly.
All right. Well, thank you, sir.
All right.
Hello, I'm Cadet Lance Corporal Hodge.
And I'm First Sergeant Jay Foote.
We're going to ask the First Sergeant what he does on a daily routine. What do you say a typical day consists of you in golf company?
Typical day starts for me about maybe 5:15. I get up in the morning, start my day prior to the cadets so I can start planning and thinking about what's going to happen and get the most out of the day. Wake up the cadets, basically either get them to PT or chow, depends on what day it is. And then once they're off to school, I spend my time in the office here working on my administrative requirements. From that point, once the cadets come back to chow, come back from class, we go to afternoon chow. Once you're all returned to the classrooms, I come back into my office and spend that time returning phone calls to my parents out there, finishing up the requirements. I might PT a little bit on my own, and then once we come back in the afternoon, we go to chow one more time, come back and study, and take care of personal items.
During cleanups, what do you expect usually from the cadets to do?
Cleanups, well, here in Golf Company, a clean barracks is a respectful. We all live in one big building here, and we definitely want to live in a nice, clean environment. So when I ask for morning cleanups, it's that mostly that the commodity areas are all nice and clean. I would like to see our rooms in a very nice, neat appearance, and at the same time, I want hallways. You know, we have outside entities that also come to our barracks, and I want them to enjoy a clean atmosphere. So we want cleanliness. You know, squared away barracks.
This is your first year in the company. What would you say you've learned the most of during your time here?
Patience. Patience by far. I absolutely love working with the cadets. I love working with their individual personalities. That's a big change from what I'm used to. I like the idea of mentoring on a little bit more personal basis than what we would typically do in the Marine Corps. And it's been a nice challenge to adjust to that, to be able to kind of talk to the cadets on a little more personal basis. You know?
In your opinion, what should a good leader display?
Well, a good leader also displays a good amount of patience, understanding. A leader is somebody who has to make probably unpopular decisions from time to time, and not worry about those decisions, and at the same time get them to do what you want them to do, but because they want to do it, not necessarily because you can bark orders and then they're going to listen. You want them to be able to want to do it. So I think a good leader encompasses all that and works on a good round basis on leading.
All right, well, thank you, sir.
And so I should appreciate it.
Hello, I'm Cadet Lance Corporal Hodge.
And I'm Chief Warrant Officer Ed Harris.
We're going to find out how Alpha Company is run. Could you tell us a typical day here at MMA has in store for you?
A typical day at MMA. Get up in the morning, go out Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, do a little PT. We'll always go down to breakfast, Breakfast, I think, is the best meal of the day here. Always got good fried eggs. And then we come back, get clean. I don't know. I mean, it's pretty normal. There's nothing really weird that happens. I like the fact that it's routine, and I think that it's a great environment for our boys.
What do you enjoy most about being the drill instructor of Alpha?
I enjoy most. I think the fact that there are some boys that over the course of a couple years, 3, 4, even 5 years, that you end up making a connection with, and you kind of become a surrogate father for them, and those are the ones that you seem to always stay in touch with over the years. I've got a couple boys that 2 of them from about 14 years ago, and 1 from about 12 years ago that I stay in regular contact with, and it's almost like the 3 of them are kind of my boys. They're like part of my family.
What would you say in your time being here at the Academy how have cadets influenced in you the most?
Cadets have influenced me the most, I think, in teaching me the virtues of patience, how to better manage my time, and how to always make sure that I always try or make an effort to give most of my attention to the boys that are doing really well, or that are making progress, and not giving most of my attention to the small handful that are making things miserable for everybody, especially themselves. So I think more than anything else, that's what the cadets, the boys in Alpha, give me. They constantly are reminding me by what they do that I need to exercise patience and remember that they are teenage boys, and be grateful for the fact that this is a learning environment, and it's neat that they have the opportunity to make mistakes and still have some consequence for it, but it's always got a safety net under, you know. It's a learning experience, and consequences really, for the most part, are very nominal, I think.
Alright, well, thank you, sir.
Thank you. I enjoyed it very much.
Thank you. Hello, I'm Cadet Lance Corporal Hodge, and I'm here with Mr. Aylshire. Sir, can you tell us about what you do?
I'm Director of Social Media and Marketing for the Marine Military Academy. I'm responsible for setting up the Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, the different social media aspects of the Marine Military Academy. Recently I was the project manager for the new website, a number of different projects. It's very exciting to be able to tell the world about the Marine Military Academy.
What do you say your job entitles?
It's just that. It's basically telling the story of what happens inside the Marine Military Academy. On a day-to-day basis, we might be out there, for example, summer camp, telling the story, letting parents get to see inside what's happening here, get to see their sons having a good time on the back 40, for example, telling the story of what's happening in the classrooms, how the operations work, helping tell the very positive story about what we believe is the best military school, and definitely in the country.
What do you say people enjoy most about your publishings?
Seeing you guys, seeing the cadets have a good time here, and You know, it's even in public schools, for parents to be able to see what's happening on a day-to-day basis, what's happening here from day to day. You know, that's exciting. That's something I think parents are very excited about. But when we get to package things, we get to put together stories. Again, thanks to you all, thanks to the cadets in the cinematography class, we've been able, in fact, we're at 70,000 fans now on our Facebook. And a lot of that has to do with the stories that you guys are telling.
Would you say that's like the most enjoyable thing about working here, or is there anything else?
Oh, definitely. I think teaching the class this year has been simply awesome. To connect with cadets, to better understand, you know, what you guys go through on a day-to-day basis, empower you to be able to tell your stories, to talk about the things that's important to you, and that's something that's been simply awesome.
Hello, I'm Cadet Second Lieutenant John Hay here with Mrs. Atkinson in charge of Public Relations and Marketing. Ma'am, can you tell us a little about yourself?
Yes, sir, I will. Hello, I'm Andy Atkinson, and yes, I am in charge of the public relations and marketing for Marine Military Academy. I love my job. What I basically do is I promote Marine Military Academy, and I do that through various ways. Sometimes I work on advertisements. I do update the website constantly so people know about us. I do write press releases, so when the cadets do wonderful things in the community, the media knows about it, and oftentimes we have reporters come out here and do stories on our cadets. On top of that, I also do a newsletter called the MMA Leader. I do this every other month, and this goes out to parents and patrons alike so that they learn more. They see all the meaty stories and all the wonderful news that's happening at Marine Military Academy. I have numerous duties, but I basically do promote Marine Military Academy in any way, shape, or form, and I love my job.
Yes, ma'am. And how would you say who would you say you impact the most when doing your job?
Oh, it is definitely the cadets. It is definitely the cadets. That is what is so great about my job, is I get to tell the wonderful stories. When you all win awards, or when you all are holding parades, I get to tell those stories to the media. I get to tell those stories to parents. I always get to tell those stories. And that's what impacts me. That's what impacts you all, because Marine Military Academy would be nothing without the accomplishments of our cadets. And that's why I like my job, because I impact cadets every day. I may not see you all every day, but I'm out there trying to get the word out about you every day.
Yes, ma'am. Well, thank you, ma'am, for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, I'm Cadet Lance Corporal Hodge.
And I am Captain Vasquez.
What does a usual day consist for you and the Aerospace Staff?
Well, generally we show up in the afternoon after the students are done with their studies, and we will go ahead and prep for the flight lessons that we have scheduled for today.
Do you face any dilemmas with what you do?
Generally, the dilemmas that we do face, especially with teaching the students, is just general them having to deal with the new skills with learn how to fly an airplane. So, for example, first-time solos, the weather conditions that we may run into at Harlingen, and then running into just general a wide range of people having to learn a specific skill. It can be challenging, but we managed to make through with it because we have very talented base of instructors, and I think we do good with what we have.
What do you think cadets get out of this?
Well, cadets definitely learn a life skill learning this. I've always said that learning how to fly is something that encompasses a wide range of skill sets. They learn a little bit of meteorology, they learn a little bit of mechanical, they learn a little bit of medical factors, they learn a little bit of science, and if anything, they really build up their eye-hand coordination with being able to learn the aircraft. So it just encompasses a wide range of capabilities that they have to be proficient in.
Thank you, sir.
Well, thank you.
Hello, I'm Cadet Second Lieutenant John Hay here with Sergeant Major Miller, Director of Facilities. Sir, can you tell us a little about what you do?
I maintain the campus, the daily operations, all the mechanical systems, grounds, buildings, plumbing, utilities, et cetera, sports fields. Anything out here that grows, moves, or needs to be painted, we take care of.
Yes, sir. And what would you say would be a more common thing you run into on a day-to-day basis?
Probably a lot of plumbing issues, mainly due to the number of students we have here and the age of the facilities.
Is there, what would you say that was probably one of the most challenging?
No, challenging would be a major water break or a electrical outage.
Yes, sir.
Would probably be more challenging.
Yes, sir. And what would you describe as the most enjoyable thing you do here?
Most enjoyable thing, I think it's accumulation of a little bit of everything, because the end state is we're able to take care of the cadets and provide a quality environment for them not only to study but to live in.
Yes, sir.
Hello, I'm Cadet Lance Corporal Hodge.
My name is Carlos Centeno.
So, Carlos, what do you do here at the Academy?
My job is I'm the food service director for the Marine Military Academy. I'm in charge of ordering all the food that comes in through the building, and I'm in charge of making the menus out for the cadets. My day usually starts about 4 in the morning, and I break out, come in here, turn all the ovens on, and make sure everything's working properly, because we have to have breakfast ready by 6 o'clock in the morning most of the times. And at the same time, I'm also expecting my deliveries to come in. They come in early in the morning, all the groceries that come in through that back door, so I gotta make sure that they're at the proper prices and they're the right quantities that I've ordered, basically. And then again, we just, start from there. My day typically ends about 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
So you say your day is pretty filled?
Yeah, it's pretty much filled. Like I said, there's always activities going on. I mean, I'm responsible for anything that happens in this building. Plus, if there's any other events happening on the campus that are related to the food service, like caterings, or like we had a book signing the other day. I have to make sure they have drinks and other items that are requested throughout the day and throughout the year. So again, my day is pretty much full. I have 17 employees that work for me, plus I have 2 other supervisors. And between us, we try to make sure that the cadets have a well-balanced meal, and all our menus are catered to their likings. We usually have a meeting once a month with the cadets on the cadet advisory board, and they advise me basically what their cadets are looking for, and I try to accommodate most of their requests. Some of them are easy to do, some of them, well, it takes a little more work, or some of them are just out in left field, so I just start, I can't really fill those. But again, most of the boys that come through the line, we get to know them on a personal basis, myself and my employees, because we see them about 3 times a day. So, we get to know most of them, and we enjoy it. Again, I've been doing this job for about 42 years. I did it for 20 years in the United States Marine Corps. I'm a retired Marine also, so this is my element. And again, I enjoy what I do. This is my passion. So, again, anytime that the cadets ask for something, I try to accommodate them. Like I said, overall, again, I'm here for the boys. So, thank you very much.
All right, well, thank you, sir.
All right, have a good day, buddy.
You heard it first. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you soon.